students, today we are going to start a new poem Amanda, class 10 CBSE from our book First Flight. Before starting the poem, let me tell you something about the poetess and something about the introduction of the chapter. In this poem, Robin Klein beautifully explains the conflict between the parents and the teenager. And she also highlights the point to how to bring up the growing children. The children should be given the proper space for their creativity. It is the parents' foremost duty to inculcate the moral values, the principles in their growing children, and it is parents' responsibility to make their children wise, well-reasoned and responsible citizens for the society. For this purpose, many times they have to scold their children, they have to nag them, and they have to instruct them, they have to guide them. But the teenager don't want to listen, they dislike their parents' advice and suggestions. And you should not sit bending upper part of your body. Hunch here means to bend the upper part of the body. So her mother again pointing out her mistake, so you should sit straightly. Stop that slouching and sit up straight, Amanda. And her mother also pointing out that you should stop slouching. You should not be lazy. Slouching here means lazily. So you should be active. So in these lines, her mother is continuously pointing out her mistakes one by one and she dislikes. Her mother, as experienced of her mother's life, her mother wants to make her understand that you can have a back problem. Moreover, you don't look smart. In the next three lines, there is a liquid emerald sea where the sole inhabitant is me, a mermaid drifting gracefully. So, when her mother scolding her continue, she is fed up of the scolding of her mother and she wants to escape the reality and go into the world of the imagination. Because she feels regret and seeks an escape from the world of human beings. So she imagined that there is a liquid. Liquid here means relax. Emerald sea. Emerald sea is a green color sea. And green color is also symbol of the prosperity, peace. Where the sole inhabitant is me. Where the alone soul like me. Where I will be the alone dweller of that sea. A mermaid drifting blissfully, and she wants to be a mermaid. She imagines herself to be a mermaid so that she may drift in the silent sea and enjoy the loneliness and peace there and longs for the freedom. Here mermaid is a imaginary creature. Half of her body is of woman, the upper part of the body is of like the woman, and the lower part has a fish tail. So she wants freedom, she wants to withdraw from the world of the human beings. She doesn't want to listen whatever her mother is telling to her. Start. Now the third stanza begins. Here her mother is telling her about her completion of her work. Did you finish your homework, Amanda? Did you tidy your room, Amanda? I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda. In these lines, we can also find that her mother is instructing her again and again. Her mother is scolding her again and again. And the tone of her mother is not friendly in these lines. Did you finish your homework? Did you tidy? Tidy here means clean. So you should finish your work at proper time. You should clean your room properly. I thought I told you to clean your shoes. So she is again instructing her for cleaning her shoes. So Amanda here don't like her mother's continuously scolding her. She wants to escape, again she wants to escape from the world of reality and wants to go in a world of imaginations. So again here in these lines, the reaction of the Amanda, the imagination of the Amanda. I am an orphan roaming the sea, the patterned soft dust with my hushed bare feet. The silence is golden and freedom is sweet. So here Amanda imagine that she would be a orphan. Orphan is a person who doesn't have parents, mother or father. So we can see however the Amanda here shows how a child feels trapped within the cluster of the instructions. Here the continuous instructions, the continuous nagging made her so much fed up. She wants to roam the streets. Roam here means aimlessly wandering in the streets. So she wants to roam in the streets. I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet, and with her quiet, hushed here means quiet, with her quiet bare feet, bare means uncovered, means she doesn't want to wear shoes in her feet, she wants to roam in the street. And I pattern soft dust here means she wants to pattern the her feet's pattern on the soft dust. She wants to play in the dust. The silence is golden and the freedom is sweet. So here she describes that silence and the freedom is sweet, and Manda says that because both are very precious to her, and they both, the silence and the freedom, both have been snatched by her mother. Her mother keeps scolding at her all time and keep on shouting at her, pointing out her mistakes again and again. So she wants to withdraw from the words of the human beings and she wants to enter in the world of the imaginations. Here we can see that she is a very creative child, so the parents should give the proper space for the creativity of their children. This point is also the poetess Robin Klein highlights through this poetry. Next stanza. Don't eat that chocolates, Amanda. Remember your Ake. Amanda, will you please look at me when I am speaking to Amanda? Here in these lines, her mother again confronts her. Her mother is again forbidding her. Her mother is again stopping her to do, you should not do this thing, you should not do that thing. The tone of her mother is not friendly, so she gets freedom, she gets frustrated, she gets bored. Don't eat chocolates. Here her mother forbidding her to eat the chocolates because she had acne on her face already, and if she eats too much, eating chocolates might create more pimples on her face. So she will not look beautiful. So her mother makes her very much conscious about the beauty. Though she is a child of 11 or 12 years old, but her mother imposing her thoughts on that little girl. Will you please look at me when I am speaking to you, Amanda? So, because we have already known that she is getting fed up, she is getting bored with her continuous instructions, continuous pointing out mistakes. So, she is not paying attention to her mother's words. She is not paying her ears to her mother's suggestions. Next paragraph. Here she again withdraws herself from the world of reality into the world of imagination. So I am an Rapunzel. I have not a care. Life in a tower is a tranquil and a rare. I will certainly never let down my bright hair. So in these lines, she is very creative. Most of the parents cannot understand and appreciate. They don't understand and they don't appreciate their creativity of their children, which the poet here to be criticized. Parents should give the proper space for the creativity of their children. She wants to be Rapunzel. Rapunzel is an imaginary character. She is a fairy tale character and she wants to be Rapunzel because there is a story behind the Rapunzel. She was very beautiful and she was captivated in a long high tower. And she remains there alone, locked doors. So I have not a care. So here in these lines she also wants to be, she desires to be Rapunzel. Rapunzel is in quiet room and remains forever there. Because she wants freedom. Why she wants to be Rapunzel? Because she wants freedom from all human beings, from everyone's shouting, and she imagines herself locked in a tower which has no door. There she feels better and does not want any surrounding by the human. Tranquil here means alone and lonely. I will certainly never let down my hair, bright hair. So here she says that when Rapunzel was in a high tower, she was captured there by witches, and when she lay down her hair, she had a very long golden hair, and when she lay down her hair from the tower, the witches climbed up. So she said, if I would be captured such a type of tower like the Rapunzel, I will never let down my hair. Now the last stanza of the poem. Stop sulking at once, Amanda. You are always so moody, Amanda. Anyone would think that I nagged at you, Amanda. Here in these lines, the poetess seems to criticize the parents that children should be given a proper space for their imagination and also for their creativity. We should not impose. We here means the parents should not impose their desire on them each and every time. She is very small girl and she is unable to understand the norms of the society. Most of the parents don't understand the nature of their children and keep on commanding them and want them to adopt the norms of the society, but she is too small. She is of the 10 or 11 or maybe 12-year-old child. So her mother, she is unable to understand the means of her mother's forbidding eating chocolates and biting nails and slouching. So she is now her attitude changed. The attitude of the Amanda changes, and she is not withdrawing. This time she is not withdrawing herself from the world of imagination, from the she is not withdrawing herself from the world of the human beings and enter into the world of the imagination, but now she becomes obstinate, she becomes defiant and uncooperative and unfriendly, and becomes also the moody. You are so moody, है ना? So her mother again scolding her, now you became so moody, you are not paying attention, you are not heeding attention to my suggestions, to my advice. I nagged at you, Amanda. So again her mother scolding her. Now she for not obeying her advice or commands. Now the poem ends. Hope you understand it well. I tried to make this video in a very simple and understanding language. If you still find any difficulty, you can ask me. Till then, bye-bye.